Hello, I'm Liam Murray from Project P, and well, today I'm going to teach you how to use Sully. So, what makes Sully special is unlike other printers, this is, well, a heavily modified CR10S5, I, which basically means it's a 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter build volume, which is massive. However, it comes with a few problems. The first of which being it's, well, hard to heat up, which is why I highly recommend before you start anything, you preheat the bed. Now, to preheat the bed, you just go to, well, active here, you click it, and you raise the temperature on there until it's at the temperature you want. Then you hit set and it's good to go. However, in this case, I already have that 60 degrees, no need to do anything. And then, well, for your nozzle temperature, because you need to heat it up before you can change out the filament, you are going to go to, well, you're basically going to do the same thing. You're going to go here, you're going to click it, you're going to change the temperature to whatever you want it to be, like in this case 110, hit set. And then in this case, I don't have the heater turned on. So this in red indicates that's on. This here indicates that the actual extruder is hot and is cold and is at 24-ish degrees Celsius. So you just tap the extruder button there. It should turn on, it'll kick on. And then, well, you wait for it to warm up enough to change it out. So, next step you need to do is you need to go over to the computer. You need to log in. Super secure password, I know. And, well, for this case, we set the current profile up in Prusa Slicer. Prusa. We used to run this in Kira. But anyways, you're going to find yourself on this screen here. There might be someone else's model on it. What you want to do is you want to go up here, go to printers, and for this one, you want to select Sully. Now for Sully, these settings here should be good. It runs rep wrap firmware, which is a bit different than usual. Then you go back from print to platter, and you put your model on and slice. Now, because of how massive this build plate is, please, you are probably it's gonna warp a lot. If I have a build plate, like imagine the build plate's my hand here, you can see that my hand, it's flat. No, it's not. You see all the bumps and ridges. My hand ain't flat, and it's actually kind of the same thing for the glass. But because it's so big, there's just tons of variation across it, and chances are you're going to be within plus or minus 0.3 millimeters. So have your first layer height actually be plus or minus 0.3 millimeters. You don't want to run anything higher than that just because, well, currently there's there'd be problems. Well, not really problems, but if typically you want to stay within 75% of your nozzle height. 75% diameter of your nozzle is typically the max layer height that you want to try. So for this, I'm just going to have it set there. And, well, I'm going to import a random model. Maybe I want to go to printables. Maybe I want to print something popular, like, for instance, let's see if there's anything actually good. Like this spiral vase. Because who doesn't like it to be vased? Insert dumb joke here. So for this, you can just download, or you can actually just have it open into Slicer here. Just super simple, super convenient. Just put it in. We go over. If there's another model, you'll have to delete it. Delete. Select your object. Then, well, you just do the typical normal things like centering it, and then, well, once you're satisfied with everything, hit slice. From here, it's going to slice the filament. I'm just going to slice it, but let's go back since, well, the printer should be warmed up by now. As you can see, it's warm, it's good to go. So there's two different ways we can grab this filament and change it out. The first way, which is super simple, we just pull this back and, well, grab the filament out. However, since I only have one hand due to holding a camera, we're actually going to go down here, go to extrusions, extrusion, and then we have a few different options here. This is how much do we want to extrude. For this, I'm going to just use 50, and, well, the speed I want to extrude it at. So in this case, I'm going to go 25 because I'm 20 because I'm just lazy, and then I want to hit retract to retract it out of the print head. This will move it super quickly. I'm going to hit it one more time just to make sure it's out. And bam, you have those nice marks. These are a little too big, however, they're good enough for what we want. And then we'd change up the filament. We just grab it out, and I would just grab it out and throw on a different roll. However, because I don't care what color I'm printing this in currently, I'm just going to feed it back in. So for this, it's kind of a two-handed operation. First thing you need to do is you need to have a hand here, and you need to apply pressure down to feed it into the extruder. The second thing you need to do is you need to come back over here, and instead of hitting retract like we did earlier, you hit extrude. In this case, the first extrusion, we can do it at 50 and 20. That'd be okay speed because we're just loading it in. Sorry, I'm gonna set you down here for a second. Of course, it also can miss. Like here, it missed because the way that the Bowden tube is in there, you just have to pull it out and actually just pull on the lever and push it through. So with it, once I actually have it down to the actual hot end itself, you're going to see that there's going to be bad stuff coming out of this. This is really bad. Don't have it look like this. Then you go over, you hit, well, 2 millimeters a second. You're going to want to hit 10 and then extrude. This will have it changed out. And you see how there's like, and if you see how there's like a bit of, well, turbulence when it extrudes, when it comes out, this amount is okay. And immediately it doesn't do that. How it kind of goes to the side a bit, it's hard to see on here. That's not the best sign. It does, well, it doesn't indicate that everything's going bad, but it's just not fun. As in extreme cases where it's coming back up on the nozzle, it's, well, indicates a clog. So this is now sliced. We're going to export it. In this case, we're going to save it to our downloads folder or wherever, it doesn't matter. We just need to know where it is so we can access it later. And then we go and instead of actually using the SD card, we go over and we have a few automatic things that, well, should automatically connect you to it. In this case, we hit the CR10S5 one, which is the first one here. Other than that, if it's not showing up, then we go back over to the printer. We hit console. And, well, it should say the IP address here. Now, if it doesn't do this, that means that, well, it's a new year and we have to put on a new IoT address for it. That's, well, a little bit more complicated. You have to, and simple enough to do, you have to grab the MAC address from the same thing and then put it on there. Then, well, but anyways, bouncing back over to here, we have, well, go over from dashboard over here, which is where you're going to start off at. We go down and hit jobs. Now with the jobs, we go and we upload our G-code file, which we're already in downloads here, spiral elongated, and then it's going to upload. Uploading takes time just because it's a very slow internet out here. However, should be pretty good. And then from here, well, what we do is, well, once we have something uploaded, like for instance, I'm gonna just click Real Elbow here. This is a grad school thing. We just go click, click it, and then hit start, and that will start up the G code. Other things of note with this printer, you're gonna have to use glue stick on the center of the bed if you're printing near the center, but also just use masking tape and other things on here. It's a big bed. It's hard to get things down. Masking tape on this thing really would help. Anyways, sorry for the long video. I hope this was very informative for you. As you can see, it's gonna park, it's gonna do everything, it's gonna level. Now, the other thing that you need to know just before we go is if you need to adjust the Z offset, there's this here where it will baby step up or down whatever amount. This is crucial for if you notice that your first layer is a little too squished, or if it's not squished enough, you can just easily come and adjust it here without having to finagle everything or deal with firmware stuff. Anyways, have fun. And remember, happy printing.